Hey, Queen.
I heard about you. I was waiting on you at the door.
That is a male.
You need to watch yourself before you get checked.
Who gonna check me, boo?
Hey, May. I see you got on your May outfit like you always do.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? You are a non-motherfucking factor, bitch. I don't really care. What you don't understand is, oh, you were running your mouth with him. I was running to the back. We are winning strong. Honey, y'all don't trump.
It's called the easy effect. Situation, came across my timeline.
Alright, so what is our next
destination? Let's go to Morocco. Very blinged out in here, Al. How you doing?
Would somebody come and get this bitch, please? She's so tired, and I have a date to get to.
What's up, guys? So welcome to my very first ever YouTube show. I don't know. First of all, to those of you that are still alive, welcome. And I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I spent half the day just getting my set together. So this is Jake. When you're single and you live alone during the quarantine, you make friends with the people who live in your house. So this is 21, and this is Jake, and these are my boys. And I'm so tired of talking to 21 and Jake that I said, you know what? I've been wanting to do this for a while. I will finally turn on the camera and talk to somebody else. So you guys are in for a treat. So what am I going to talk about? So what I'm going to call this is the Weekly Beat. Why? Well, because I have a blog that's called the Weekly Beat. And I post stuff. I just started it. And I post stuff once a week. Basically like what's popping that week. And so it's sort of like a weekly roundup of stuff. What kind of stuff? I guess the stuff that I like. Pop culture. Not really pop culture, hip hop culture, reality TV, like all of the ratchet stuff I love. I into politics, so economics, not too much though. But you'll just have to figure it out. But I hope you like it, and that's all I can say. So let's just jump into things. Oh, and I'll probably like cut some of this up because I tend to talk a lot. So what do I want to talk about first? Wendy Williams. Okay, so I've been watching Wendy Williams since I was like a child. Well, listening to Wendy Williams since I was a child.
How you doing?
I was already grown by the time she got her little TV show or whatever. But she's really starting to weird me out. Like, I know she's quirky and she's got her stuff and, her own personality. But the stuff she's been eating on the show lately, like last week she made deviled eggs. Like when she first started, she had like a fake hamburger, and then another day she was eating like caviar with Doritos. And I'm like, okay, I like caviar. I like Doritos. So, I'm not judging, I wouldn't necessarily put the two and two together. But day by day, it's been getting weirder and weirder. One day the food was not even real. And last week, the last show I watched, she was making deviled eggs. So, but in this case, like she hadn't even made the deviled eggs yet. So not only do you want us to watch you eat deviled eggs on TV, like just deviled eggs, right? Then you want us to watch you make the deviled eggs, and then she put relish in them, and I was like, who does that? That's so nasty. But, yeah, Wendy, I don't know. So other big story, right? First of all, I thought the reunion for Real Housewives of Atlanta was going to be coming on this past weekend. This past Sunday, but of course it did not. So we have to wait one more week, but it is coming on this Sunday, part 1. Because you know there's like 18 parts and then the deleted scenes from it or whatever. So we'll be watching that. What is this, May? That'll probably end they'll probably skip a week for Memorial Day. So yeah, probably June will be the last show. Right? So anyway, so I read in the blogs, a blog, which I don't really trust, but I will just repeat what that blog said, that after the reunion, that there's a rumor that they're going to be getting rid of 2 cast members. Now, I want you to just really stop and think about this season and who are the most non-memorable cast members from this season. Not who you like or who's cute, but whose storyline can you not really remember? Okay, number 1, we're talking about members, not like friends of the show, like a peach holder. Who's, okay, so Nene aside, because, that's like a separate conversation. Even though she doesn't really have a storyline, I mean, I guess Greg's cancer or now recovering from cancer is still her storyline, or her beef with everybody, or trying to get over her beef with everybody is her storyline. But I'm not talking about them. I'm her. Them. I'm talking about none other than Eva Marcel, or Eva Pigford, Eva the Diva, Eva from Clark, and who do you think the other person is? Yes, Cynthia Bailey. There have been threats of getting rid of Cynthia for years, but she has managed to survive and just evolve. I mean, from her relationship with Peter, watching Noelle grow up. Leon used to come on the show. Then after she broke up with Peter, I think she didn't have a boyfriend for a while. And then now it's the whole chill factor, right? So let's break that down. So let's start with Eva so we can just get that out the way. So again, like I said, I'm just repeating what this blog said. So the blog is saying that they're thinking of getting rid of Eva and Cynthia. I do think that in the case of Eva, I love Eva. I've watched Eva since America's Next Top Model when she had the little, and she had the spider. Man, that picture, that was everything, right? But I gotta agree with Wendy, and she said, I don't really think Housewives is a good look for you. To be honest with you, Eva's angle, she needs to get with Candy. Candy and Todd. Todd needs to produce a spinoff for Eva and for her husband, Michael Sterling, fellow Morehouse grad. And they should do the Sterlings. I know she's been using that hashtag, so it could be something called Meet the Sterlings. And I could totally see them doing that, either doing their whole homemaking and they got all the little babies running around, and now she's finding all right, I'm not gonna have no kids for a while, so she's getting all skinny, and she could be getting back into her post Real Housewives life, and she could be doing her whole she got the radio show, she's the mom, she's gonna be I guess the first lady type figure, and then she could be getting back into her modeling thing. Wouldn't you love to see Eva getting back into shape, going on auditions and walkthroughs, Skyping with Tyra? I could totally see that. And then her children are adorable, and Mike has got a great group of friends. So, I mean, I think that could actually work. The other thing that makes me think that Eva might actually not come back to the show is a few months ago, I remember this, they talked about this before, some other blog. And one of the things that Eva said then was, she mentioned something about contract negotiations, and basically it's not a matter of will I be invited back. It's a matter of, am I going to get paid what, basically I should be getting paid. So I think in her case, she's the newest, so you know how that goes. She makes a very low salary. And when you consider the fact that what her star power is, just she could do a couple of appearances and make what she probably makes on the show, even though the show has helped catapult her back into, the limelight in a way that she had not been in for a little while. She can still pull in a little bit of bread, even if she's not doing Housewives. So I feel with that, she's she deserves I should get a decent salary. So that may come into play. right? It might be a negotiation like, oh, if I don't get what I want, then, you know, it's no point in me even doing the show. And then the other thing is that, so she's on Ricky Smiley's show, which is now in Dallas. So I'm confused to how and why she bought a house in Atlanta instead of buying a house in Dallas if she's doing a radio show there that's daily. Even though that hasn't really been an issue right now with the quarantine or whatever. But so she's got a Dallas radio show, but then she's on a Housewives series in Atlanta. So the question is, how's that even going to work anyway? So I do think that in her case, it might be easier for her to just not come back to the show, or that might be what winds up happening. What do you think, Jake? Okay. Well, Jake is like trying to socially distance himself. It's fine. So that's Eva. As far as Cynthia, I do think that Cynthia understands that as good as she is and beautiful as she is, that she's really been struggling to like find a reason to still be on the show. And I mean, I respect her for lasting this long. That's some hustle. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she's always figured out something like to put into her storyline, whether it's, you know, like launch with the Smirnoff little spritzer things that she got going on, the little Bellinis, or whether it's the wine cellar or Cynthia's modeling agency. Remember, she did a pageant one time. She did the pageant, like the whole the one or whatever it was called, whatever with the old dude, the Jamaican dude, whatever his name is, Peter. With Peter, they was gonna do the coffee shop and the club and just all kind of stuff. So she's always kept something going. I think at one point she had like the fibroids, and she had to get those removed. And then there was the fighting with Peter again, and Nene calling him a bitch.
What we do as women is between us. You need to roll with these fellas and not try to roll with these women. I don't roll with nobody, baby. Okay, well, you need to stop trying to roll with the women, okay? You need to stay out of women's business. You stop trying to be a damn bitch.
So she kept a little bit of a storyline going to stay on the show. Also, what had helped her was that she was cool with Nene. And usually the way it goes is if you're cool with Nene, then you get to stay on the show. Except now nobody's cool with Nene, and Nene hardly even films with like the actual Peaches. She films with like friends of the show or friends of Nene. And that's how they get to be a halfway friend of the show, is because they film with Nene. So her not getting along with Nene does not really have any bearing to me, I think, on whether she gets to stay on the show. I think it's just, do we want to continue seeing her?
No.
I do, but I also would not necessarily feel a loss if she wasn't on the show, in the same way that if like Portia wasn't on there or if Candy wasn't on there, I would be like, damn, I don't know if I'm gonna watch if Candy not on the show no more. Or if Portia, you know, like I don't think Nene, honestly, I don't really care about, like, I'll be the first to tell you, I'm good on Nene, so
bye, Felicia.
That really doesn't matter to me. But like, I would love to see Cynthia continue. But if she's not on the show, that's cool too. Now, as far as what she's going to do, so she's been quarantined with Mike, who has like a show on Fox Sports, and then now he's on I guess it's what it's called, Fox Soul, which is like a kind of a Roku channel. It's a streaming channel. It's not like a full-on format. But Claudia Jordan's got a show on there, and Mike has a show on there. Now, if I was Cynthia, I would try to figure out how I parlay my time in LA, what my celebrity that I have gained with the Real Housewives, into doing like a little makeover show. Like the people call, they Skype in, hey, help me with my look. We haven't seen that in a while, like one of those shows, and she can sort of like do something like that. That'd be really cool. I could see her, possibly doing some acting work or some appearance work. Could you really? But it's LA. She'll find something to do, be a spokesperson, become a public speaker. There's a lot of stuff that she could do. Like, she's committed to staying in LA, which I think is sort of the planned because, I mean, she's engaged and Mike is the man.
How you doing?
And it's not that I'm a chauvinist or anything like that, but I understand how relationships work, which is why I'm divorced. So I kind of feel like she has to make some concessions in that relationship, even though she may feel like she's the bigger, like, at the moment. I think right now her star is kind of going like this and his is actually going like this. So right now would be a good time for her to do what he was doing a year and a half ago, which is, you know, ride on her. Now she should ride on his coattails, stay in LA, use that to kind of parlay herself into whatever's next for her. But all this to say, I don't necessarily agree that they're going to be dropping either one of them, but I do think they are going to be making some changes to the cast. Because there's also been talk about bringing Phaedra back, but I don't think they're going to bring Phaedra back. I think that she'd probably just be a friend of the show, and we just sort of see how that goes, because I could very easily see Candy being like, yo, like, even though Candy kind of said it's like, it is what it is. I'm not pressed anymore like that. Like, I'm not a fan of hers, but I'm not pressed like that. Like, you know, I'm going to get my bag one way or the other. And then there's also been talk, I think Andy Cohen even said, like, if you could bring back an old housewife, who would it be? And he's like, I love Sheree. So, I mean, he is still one of the executive producers on the show. I could see Sheree coming back. Lord knows she needs the money.
Who was this wonderful person that was given a fashion show with no fashions? How dreadful.
Remember, it was a couple months ago, her mama went missing in Atlanta. It turns out she was just somewhere laid up with a boyfriend. Like, she just needed some time to herself. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what goes on with the housewives. I listened to Changing Gears. Oh, and I'll show you a little clip of what you're gonna see on Sunday. So y'all go ahead and watch that, and then I'll be right back.
Get into it, girls.
When have you ever had a man on this show other than the one you and Deanie were f***ing at the same time? First of all, I will never forgive you for ever speaking on my child. Do you see me? Do you hear what I am saying?
I never spoke on your
yes,
child.
Yes, you did.
I'm embedded in your motherfucking brain, bitch.
ATL that came out.
And you gonna keep knowing me.
Bye. Oh, what happened?
I don't see Deanie anymore.
All right, so moving on. So Chris Brown and Young Thug have released a new mixtape. So I guess this is like the new thing, because earlier in the week or last week, Drake released a mixtape as well. I didn't listen, even though to be honest, I've never really been a fan of Drake, but I have recently appreciated his music vocally. Like, I've said it out loud. Like, I'm not gonna hate on him. Like, I mean, his stuff is kind of cool. To me, I always kind of just didn't take him seriously, even though the music was good. I just always saw him as like that dude from Degrassi High, and I just could not like take him seriously. But anyway, he's got a mixtape out. So on the back of that, now Chris Brown and Young Thug have released their own entitled Slime and B. And I wonder if you can guess who Slime is and who B is. So, yes, Chris Brown, slimy as Chris Brown is Slime, and then B is Young Thug. He also, and I got that reference based on just like, he called Young Thug his blooder, you know, so that was interesting. I listened to that. There's a couple tracks on there, like there's one that features, what is this dude's name? It's something 9. I'll probably just drop it underneath the screen. But yeah, check out that track with something 9. And then there's another one called Crazy that I really enjoy. So yeah, being on quarantine, you have nothing to do, listen to music, read the blogs. I've been doing some decorating of my house, talking to Jake and 21. And that's about it. So yes, this was my first YouTube. I will probably, I'm going to do these once a week, and hopefully I will get better. And the next time I'll probably have more stuff to say, because we'll have watched the reunion. I'll probably film that one on Monday morning after I watched it, and then lay down and thought about it and have like my thoughts all together. But I probably still won't upload it till Tuesday. So yeah, this will be like our Tuesday thing, like the weekly beat. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting me. And yeah, Like, just continue to wear your mask, wash your hands. Please socially distance yourself. I don't know what's going on in Georgia. In Florida, these people are just as stupid. They've opened up most of the state except for, like, you know, South Florida. But these people are like, I mean, I saw in New York, I think they were like, people were like laid out at Central Park already. It's like, are you serious? Like, there's people dead in like U-Haul trucks. They don't even have room in the morgue. And y'all are going to lay out and just like without masks in Central Park? I don't know. Some people just, I mean, I guess they just don't get it. So yeah, guys, take care of yourself, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for sticking with me and watching through to the end. Oh, I should have told y'all to do this at the beginning, but I'll tell you to do it now. Please, 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 just like this video and subscribe. And leave a comment. Let me know how I did. And I'll see you next week. Thanks. Bye.